Too fast. You know, we also have Hungarian dance, the folkloric dance. With these clothes it matches actually, but if we have music it's like dum, 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 dum. 이렇게 마카롱 이렇게 나왔어요. 헝가리 차수 마카롱이에요. 그래서 이거 손님한테 만들고 손님 올 때는 드릴 거예요. 마카롱 안 오리지널 그런데 장식 헝가리 오리지널이에요. 그래서 완성했어요. 아 여기 하나 안 넣었어요. 꼭 안 끝났어요. 오케이 지금 오케이 더 예쁘죠. 떠니 오셨어요. 손님 오셨어요.
Oh my god.
Okay. Then I have to finish because 손님 오셨네요. Oh my. 이거 주문했던 손님 왔어요. 그래서 어여 빨리 인사하러 가요. Sziasztok! Igazi magyar. Szia Köszönöm szépen! Kemisó? Brand. Igen, mert mindig kérdem tőle. Nem tőlem van. It's not from them. It's just from. Bejött az ajtón. Sziasztok! Jó? Elég színes. Pont ilyen. Jó, nagyon örülök. Irakja nem az. Well, I have the pleasure to introduce you the Hungarian ambassador, Csaba Gábor, and this is the first time he came to my shop, so it's a great moment. Actually, Edith, his wife, has been my customer for forever. She said that I've been your fan even before you opened the shop, and it's true because even before opening the shop, she ordered cookies from me, macaron for events, for Hungarian events, for personal events. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, and that she promoted me among her friends quite a lot. So I really appreciate that. And today. We have the ambassador here too. It's something amazing. And then we have, it's a great pleasure. So for all the Hungarian people, hogyha ezt most nézitek, hogyha eddig is néztétek, akkor most egy kicsit magyarul is beszélünk. Itt vagyunk Csaba Gáborral, aki Koreában a magyar nagykövet, és ma először eljött ide hozzám a boltba, ami egy óriási megtiszteltetés. Úgyhogy hát köszöntsük. Let's welcome him. Okay. So, Gábor, what's the perfect season to go to Hungary?
Well, in Hungary we have 4 seasons, just like in Korea. We have a beautiful spring, where we have a lot of sunshine, beautiful mild temperatures. We have a fairly hot summer, but that summer is also a lot less humid than here. So again, I think it's enjoyable throughout the 3 months. We have a very colorful fall season. Once again, the temperatures hover around the 20-degree mark, which is just very agreeable and good. A lot of sunshine once again. And we have a winter season which can be harsh and it can be cold and snowy, but again that's a festive season in Hungary, with Christmas being probably the most important time of the year for all Hungarians. So again, in my opinion, if I were to advise a Korean traveler, I would say go anytime between probably May and October. But certainly, if you can go back for a second time, choose probably December, the pre-Christmas season, where there are a lot of activities in Budapest and other towns, Christmas markets, beautiful, cozy things that you may want to immerse yourself in. So yeah, I think anytime, but again, if you want to really pick one, let it be really the period between May and October or in December.
It's quite amazing. Very good. What you explain is just so colorful, amazing. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, thank you.
You're right. Yeah, because each season has its beauty. Yeah.
Precisely.
Christmas. Yeah. Okay. Can I steal this line from you next time people ask me?
If you give me a macaron in exchange.
I will give you two. What about what do you think Korean people could buy in Hungary when they travel? Any kind of any people. What's the typical Hungarian stuff, souvenir or something that's worth it?
You know, Hungary is a modern, developed European country, so basically you can buy a variety of things while visiting there. But certainly there are things that stand out because they are genuinely Hungarian. One of them is porcelain. You know, we produce some of the finest porcelain in the world. You know, we have a few companies, probably the most important one being Herent, which produces this beautiful set of hand-painted porcelain. Everything is unique and one of its kind. We have Zsolnay also, which produces very high-quality porcelain. I would add that you know, Hungary is also known for being a country of inventive people. So again, probably the most symbolic thing that people know in the world connected with Hungary is Rubik's Cube. So again, you might want to buy an authentic Hungarian Rubik's Cube. Embroidery is part of our folk culture. You know, we have a set of different motifs which are very colorful, which are very popular with foreigners. So I suggest that again, you can put them on your table, but you can wear them. You know, these dresses are really exceptionally beautiful. So I think these things, and certainly you might want to consider buying a few items in a food store, because certainly Hungary is also known for some very special food, including, you know, salami, goose liver, and a variety of other things. Okay, amazing. I learned so many things from you. Well, thank you. What about eating in Hungary? Yeah, you know, Hungary is a place where you don't necessarily go to lose weight. This is, you know, a place where you tend to eat quite a bit because, you know, the cuisine that we have is famous for being very tasty. You know, it's a feast, you know, in terms of all the taste that you can taste there. We have a few signature dishes. Certainly, goulash is probably the number one that needs to be mentioned, and certainly it needs to be stressed that the goulash we prepare is very different from how it has become known in the world. You know, the Hungarian version is a soup, because Hungarians, just like Koreans, are soup lovers. Every day, you know, for lunch we have a bowl of soup, and goulash is certainly one of them. The international version is more like a stew. Then, you know, we have a lot of, you know, unique sweets. Certainly, we are in a sweet shop right now, so again, it's appropriate to talk about it. We have, you know, Gundel's pancake, which is, you know, a very rich chocolatey sort of pancake, or crepes, for that matter. We have Somló's Delight, which is another thing, you know, with a lot of cream and chocolate and whipped cream on it. And basically, we have a lot of things that have to do with chocolate, cream, and puff pastry. Probably, you know, the Hungarian cream puff pastries is one of the best, if not the best, in the world. And certainly, when you go to Hungary and you want to enjoy the experience to the fullest, you are advised to taste the Hungarian spirits. Primarily, certainly, wine, because we are, you know, known for being among the top wine producers in Europe or in the world. We have, you know, probably the most important one to mention here is Tokaj, Tokajasu, which is a sweet dessert wine. Louis XV, the French king in the 18th century, called it the king of wines and the wine of kings. And again, if a French king says a thing like that, you know, we cannot really complain. But we also have many different red wine varieties and white wine produced in Hungary. We have over 20 wine regions. And, you know, they are also known for their hospitality. So if you are a tourist, go and check out the cellars. You know, you can eat and drink there and have a wonderful time. But when talking about spirits, and that's probably the last observation I should make, we also have other spirits in addition to wine, and probably the most important one is pálinka, which is the Hungarian fruit brandy. It's basically made from all the fruits that you can imagine. Certainly the most important ones are plum and apricot and probably pear. But really, there are more than a dozen different varieties of pálinka. It can be strong, but certainly people here know soju. I'm tempted to say that pálinka is, in a sense, the Hungarian soju. But it's the Hungarian soju of the strongest, sort. The alcohol content is around 40% and above. But again, it's not going to disappoint you if you go there and taste it.
So besides Budapest, which other city would you recommend for tourists to visit and to get a bit of insight of Hungary?
It's right. Budapest really doesn't need any introduction or any advertisement. It has emerged as one of the top destinations around the world. Really, we have seen a boost in terms of all the tourists now deciding to come and visit Budapest. But Budapest is not Hungary. Budapest is part of Hungary, a very important part. But we have other things. In terms of cities and towns that I should probably highlight, I should mention Pécs, which is in the south of the country. And not only is it a beautiful old city and a fairly large one at that, but also it is close to one of the most important wine regions Hungary has. It's the Pécs wine region, famous for its top quality red wines primarily. The other city that one might want to mention is Eger, which is to the east from Budapest, about 120 kilometers probably. It's one of the most historic and historical cities in Hungary. It used to be, the place of the venue of a famous battle between Hungarians and Turks in the 16th century, and it still, has a lot of history in it. In addition to cities and towns, probably I should mention Lake Balaton, which is the largest warm water lake in Europe. Between May and September, there are a host of things that you can do there. Certainly you can swim, you can rent a yacht or actually visit wine regions around the lake. It's really a magnet for tourists, not only Hungarians, but generally for foreign tourists as well. And probably one thing that Hungary is also known by is the Puszta, which is a vast flat land in the eastern part of Hungary, which can be in a sense likened to the Wild West, in America. This is the Wild East probably. It's really a flat land, full of unique Hungarian species like the grey cattle, and also sorts of a host of birds and other animals and vegetation. It's very romantic. It's a place where I think both lovers, but also all people who are out to get some romance would love to visit. Geothermal or thermal water, hot springs in Hungary. Hungary is probably one of the most important sources of hot water in the world, and definitely in Europe. On which we have also built a whole network of baths in the country. There are literally hundreds of them, many of them going back many centuries, and therefore quite a few of these baths, for instance in Budapest, several of them in Budapest, are housed in old historical buildings dating back to the Turkish times, for instance. So again, for Koreans who really appreciate spa culture, it's a sort of homecoming when you go to Hungary. In terms of the food, like I said, we have very tasty, very spicy food, rich in soup, for instance. But also in terms of the spa culture. And generally, since Hungarians have an Asian origin, actually we left what we now call Central Asia some 1500 years ago. Hungary is related to Korea, and you can sense this connection when you visit there. It makes my life and my work here as Hungary's ambassador a lot easier. There are a lot more connections than would otherwise be the case. But really, when you are there as a Korean, you are immediately embraced, and you enjoy this experience a lot. That's my experience talking to a lot of Koreans about it.
I think in 10 minutes you learned more about Hungary, then you could learn in 5 years since you know me. I'm sorry about that. And thank you so much.
Angel, it's a great pleasure to be here. Like I said, Edith has been familiar with this place for quite some time. I have been the unlucky one because I always had something else to do when she came here. And really congratulations on this magnificent store. I know that it's appreciated by an increasing number of people. You cannot work enough to meet the demand, but that's rightly so. Again, the quality of what you produce and the beauty of it, both of them speak for themselves. So again, I'm not surprised. And if you come back in 5 or 10 years, I would not be surprised to see many more of your stores actually bearing your name, Herman Cookies,
Thank you.
around Seoul and probably even beyond Seoul here in Korea. So really congratulations
Thank
and
you
good luck.
very much. Thank you. Thank you. It's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ma카롱언니 많이 봐주세요. Let me do it again. 마카롱언니 많이 봐주세요.
Thank you. 그 손님 사실은 제 친구였어요. 그 친구가 헝가리 대사님이에요. 대사님이 ambassador. So it was amazing. He came here, we talked a little bit, he talked about Hungary. Even I learned so many things about Hungary that I knew, but I couldn't just put them together like he did. He's amazing, he was amazing. And it was a great pleasure to have him here and his family here. They are amazing people, they have supported me. So, and even now, because of YouTube, subscribe, YouTube, they just came, they helped me out. So it was an amazing experience. I hope you learned a lot of things about Hungary. I hope you might be more interested in going to Hungary, traveling to Hungary, because I would be, even by listening to him. It just made me very interested. And I hope you had a good time, enjoyable time. I did, definitely. And see you next time. Okay? 마카롱언니였어요. Sziasztok!